So for the second critique, I'm going to go ahead and critique a wireframe that was done by a colleague. That is this one right here in the center. Just right off the bat, interpreting it, to me, it's pretty evident or obvious that it looks like a turtle, or some form of a turtle. I think it's actually quite interesting how she went ahead and did this and used up the space in her piece. Because just looking off the, right off the bat, the first thing my eyes are drawn to are the spring looking, the legs and head, which I think it's really interesting and creative how she did that. Most people I think would have just created a simple line going up or something of that sense. But I like how she almost built this solid structure going around and around and around that leads up to the piece or helps lead up to the piece. Um, I think it's cool too because there's going to be a lot of volume or information in between there in the space of that circle going around. Um, so I think that's the first thing I'm drawn to. But after that, I think how she did the turtle, what I would consider the turtle shell, I think she did quite well. Um, just looking off it based off this image, this is where it would be nice to maybe have a few more images, but I really like how it looks like there's these little turn, more basically circles going on inside the turtle shell or on the outside, which is a common, way to interpret what turtle shells look like. And I think she did an excellent job at doing this. It looks very complex, very difficult to have accomplished, and I think she did a great job at doing it. I think it's interesting too, because I'm sure if you look at this from different angles, just based off, I think it'll look similar from different angles, but it's going to change, especially with those circles and that. I mean, that's always no matter how you look at it, it's going to look different. I think there's going to be a lot of volume or space on the inside of that turtle shell that's going to kind of play and interact with you in that way. Um, that turtle shell, though, is probably one of my favorite things. I think it looks really, really well and intricate. I think the way she maybe intertwined them to interact with each other was quite complex and quite good. And just kind of how she brought the piece together, I think is really impressive. I know looking at some other ones that, sometimes it's simpler. It's just a simple hook around and link. Um, but I really think she went above and beyond in kind of completing this piece and bringing it together. Um, and I really like what she's done with it. Um, I don't think there's necessarily anything that I would have changed with it because I think what she has here is a complete piece. I don't think there's anything she's necessarily missing out, anything she could have done better. Um, I like I said, I really like how the feet and the head are all, the feet specifically look very uniform and like they would be turtle feet. They have that, turtle feet are kind of circular and not necessarily long or large, but thicker, um, with what their body is. I think she did great in putting that in here. And so is the head. The head is very similar to kind of the feet in that manner. And I think she did really good at kind of creating that interpretation of this is what a wire turtle would be for her, which is quite impressive in my opinion. Um, and overall, I just think she did really good. I don't think there's really much else to say about it besides that I can think of. Just in looking, my main thing is I wish could see a couple more pictures, just to see around it to see what different interpretations there are of it based off the angle and what the other sides look like, just to kind of complete the piece. But based off what I can see here, just from the one piece, I think it looks really, really well, and I think she did really good on it. Um, and yeah, I just really, really like those circles going on. I mean, and the whole piece is kind of a circular piece, I guess, if you think about it based off the um, the feet and the shell. So she's kind of kept up with that same idea the entire piece, and she just expanded on it in different ways. One is creating a form that literally goes into 3D. One is creating a design that goes on intact to create this 3D shell looking piece. So I think she did really good. Um, yeah,